Yeah, what's going on, everybody? And we're here with some more Dokkan battle. And in today's video, we will be taking a look here at EZA YAMCHA. So let's go ahead and go over what YAMCHA's details are. And then we'll take him into an event and see what he's looking like in game. So YAMCHA's leader skill is Earthbred Fighters or Sand Saga Category 3 key, 170% to all stats. He then gives an additional 1 key and 30% to all stats for characters who also belong to the Earthling category or Turtle School category. So we now know 200% leaders will only get an additional 1 key when they EZA, so that's the only change that they're getting to their leader skill, right? So YAMCHA super attack, the Wolf Fang Kamehameha. Super attack effect, he is now greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn, cause immense damage to the enemy with a high chance to stun as well. Usually that high chance equates to about a 50%. Not about, it is, I'm sorry, it is a 50% chance to stun. So YAMCHA does have an intro, right? Activates the entrance animation when there's another Earthbred Fighter category ally on the team upon this character's entry. This is, to me, one of the biggest changes to YAMCHA, because originally it was 5. You needed 5 Earthbred Fighters category characters on the team to get YAMCHA's intro. Now you only just need 1, right? You just need them on the team. So I really do like what they did with his intro restriction change for his EZA. The entrance effect, he now gets chance of evading enemies attacks plus 20% for 1 turn. Then he gets 3 key, 200% to attack and defense for 5 turns. Basic effect, he gets 3 key, 200% to attack and defense. He has a high chance of performing a critical hit, has a high chance of evading enemies attacks. Launch an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type. INT excluded to rainbow. Yes. Yes. I love it. They made him a rainbow orb changer. They made him a rainbow orb changer. Yes. 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 So for every rainbow key sphere obtained, YAMCHA gets 40% defense and a chance of evading enemies attacks plus 10% before attacking. And this is perfect because he is a rainbow orb changer. So on average, you're looking at 3 to 4 rainbow orbs, meaning before he attacks, if you get 4 rainbow orbs, YAMCHA will have a 90% chance to dodge, excluding, once his intro's done, right? Because his intro, he just gets 20% plus the 50 from his basic. That's 70. You get 3 rainbow orbs on turn 1 for YAMCHA, he has a 100% chance to dodge. Crazy. Crazy. So then for every attack performed, YAMCHA gets 40% to attack and defense up to 200%. And then he gets chance of performing a critical hit plus 10% up to 50%. Yes, once YAMCHA does his 5 attacks, he will have a 100% chance to crit. Meaning, YAMCHA should have no critical in the hidden potential system. If your YAMCHA has crit in his hidden potential system build, change that build. That is not a compy build. It's not. What I'm thinking, dodge, still dodge, right? But with his super attack change, right, that greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn, you might can go additional with YAMCHA as well. So after evading attack, YAMCHA launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a high chance of becoming a super attack within that turn. As the second or third attacker in the turn, he launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super. And then for every super attack performed, chance of evading enemies attacks plus 10% within that turn. So it's very important that YAMCHA fires off supers, right? So maybe additional might be the main focus now. Like I said, dodge is still prevalent in YAMCHA's kit, but you want him to get supers because of this right here. So very important that he is getting these supers for us, right? So let's turn 1, you put him in slot 1, right? He'll do his initial super attack. Then he'll have this right here. So if he gets that to proc, that's the super. And then in slot 1, after he dodges, he'll get 2 more. And then he'll have so within the turn, he could do 5 supers in slot 1, right? So very important that he's getting these supers for us. He also have an active skill, right? His extra large spirit bomb can be activated after the character evades 4 more enemies attacks, including supers in battle, or when all allies attacking in the same turn are Earthbred Fighter category characters. Cause ultimate damage to the enemy, and then within the turn, activate attacks are guaranteed to hit. This is very important because this active skill does count as a super attack, meaning, right, we already went over this, he'll get this. So if you use his active skill then he'll proc this as well. So that's good. That's good. And then, like I said, here is the build that I went with for YAMCHA. As you can see, I tried to go as balanced as possible between additional and dodge. So we have 19 additional, 21 dodge. I really do think this is a really solid build for YAMCHA, because I still think he is, at the end of the day, he is a dodge character, right? So this is the build that I decided to go with. Link set, Turtle School, Solid Support, End Fighter, Z Fighter, Shocking Speed, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle. Categories are Earthbred Fighters, Sand Saga, Earthling, Turtle School, Worthy Rivals, and the Kamehameha Wave. Nah, it's just Kamehameha. Alright, so we're going to take him on Tao's team because he is on Tao's 220%. So let's go ahead and we're going to hop into the Goku Story Future Trunks Saga Red Zone fight, because I'm very curious, right? I'm just bring him back up here. This right here. So he'll have this for 5 turns. Going into this fight, we will exceed those 5 turns. So I'm very curious to see what YAMCHA is going to look like with his active skill, the 5-turn buff, and then without it as well. So let's go ahead and hop on in. Alright, so that was YAMCHA's intro. YAMCHA was kind of saucy. I'm telling you, when YAMCHA first shows up during the Saiyan Saga, he is kind of he's saucy. And then he becomes a meme. It sucks. He becomes a meme, right? But when he first showed up, he was kind of saucy. He was real saucy. So we do have YAMCHA here, right? First turn. How many? Let's do this. Let's leave him with Goku, right? So we can do this. Now it does suck because he has, on his first turn, right, 20% chance to dodge from his intro. Then he has 50% from his basic. So just his initial turn, he has a 70% chance to dodge, right? Per Rainbow Key Sphere we get, he gets 40% defense and a 10% chance to dodge before attacking. As you can see, Goku Black does not attack before we attack. So he's not going to dodge anything, right? And then after that, he builds up dodge for every super attack performed, 10%, right? So start of turn defense, you're looking at 360k. So if we can get him 4 rainbow orbs, which we can, let's see, does that immediately go to our defense? Yeah, now we jump up to 477k, right? We can give this to AGL Kid Goku. And we really don't need to go super crazy with Tao. So we can just get Tao this right here. So let's see what YAMCHA's looking like on his first turn, right? 8 million. Kind of low. YAMCHA does need to build up. He does need to build up. He needs to do 5 attacks to build up his attack in crit. We want supers, big dog. And because he didn't dodge. I was like, what? He did it. So, very important that once he dodges, he gets 2 additional attacks, each with a high chance of becoming a super. Then in slot 2 or 3, he gets an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack, right? So it's very important that we are getting targeted. If we want to run him in slot 1, very important that the enemy does attack us before we attack, so we can get those 2 additional attacks in. Yeah. Get flexed on, idiot. So YAMCHA did 3 attacks? 2 attacks. Because we didn't get the hidden potential system.
Yes.
Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to cut here, because I truly just want to focus on YAMCHA. And then we'll show back up on the next turn for YAMCHA, so I'll see y'all then. Okay, what is going on? This is like the first time this ever happened where the enemy just decided not to attack before we attack. Like, what is this? What is going on? What? So Zamasu, right? Let me go ahead and pull this up. So at the very bottom, as you guys can see, it says may evade enemies' attacks, including super attacks. So YAMCHA on his active scale, remember, he does become attacks guaranteed to hit. So we can use YAMCHA's active skill, and then we will have attacks guaranteed to hit for that turn. And then Zamasu wouldn't be able to dodge our attacks, right? Specifically just for YAMCHA, AGL Kid Goku and General Blue, he still can dodge their supers. Do I want to use it here though? Because that will get us closer to build up as well. Yeah, let's do it. Let's use the active skill. His extra large spirit ball. Okay, so that does a few things for us, right? We're gonna bring up Yamcha's kit here again. So with us using the active skill, that does build this up for us because we wasn't fully built up yet. So this does build that up for us right here, the attack, defense, and the crit, and then also gives us this, right? Because it counts as a super attack. So we got those two effects up, and now he's also, I'll just pull it up right here. As you can see that little symbol next to the dodge, he has guaranteed to hit, right? So, yeah, I guess we can just put him in slot 1 again. Sucks that, I mean, like, Zamasu, come on, dog. Don't you want to attack us? Like, come on, man. Come on. We're supposed to have some fun here. This isn't fun. General Blue can get that right there. So we do have General Blue support because we do have a Dragon Ball Saga character within the turn. So Yamcha needs to do, I want to say 2 more attacks to be fully built up. No. 1 more attack. Okay, so we did get the him potential system. As you can see, he jumped up. Did that say 29? Did that say 29 million? 30? 30 for y'all? Yeah, 30? I'll tell you, once he's fully built up, dog, the damage he puts out is crazy. And he's dodging. Wow. No, yeah, Yamcha's really good. If dodge is not canceled, right? There are certain events where dodge is canceled, and that could be a problem for Yamcha. I don't know if he can handle those fights, but the fights that do allow dodge, Yamcha's gonna be tough. And then also this, right? I think I went over this earlier when I was going over his details, but he on his intro, that 5-turn buff of the 3-key 200% to attack and defense, I'm very curious to see what he looks like once he loses that, right? Because that's going to be also important to see how he handles General Blue. How are we feeling? Yes. Okay. Let me cut here, and then we can come back on Yamcha's turn. So I'll see y'all then. Okay, so here we are on Yamcha's turn, right? And this will be his last turn of having the, I can just show it here. The last turn of his intro, right? The 3-key 200% to attack and defense. This will be the last turn of us having this up. With Path to Power Goku, I think we link up really well. We share 3 out of 7 links. Infighter, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle. Infighter being 15% to attack. Kamehameha should be 20%. 10% when performing a super. And in Fierce Battles, 20% attack. So all 3 are attack links. So Yamcha should be putting out some good damage this turn. Because we could do this. We can set up Path to Power Goku with his necessary support. Oh, and Yamcha does activate Path to Power Goku's unit super as well. So we can get that in the video. That's cool. And we can give this to AGL Kid Goku. So let's see what Yamcha looks like this turn. I'm already flexing. My boy Yamcha getting this dodge in. Told y'all. Told y'all. So 27. 27. And then with those dodges, we can now launch 2 additional attacks, each with a high chance of becoming a super, right? Oh, yes. Come on, Yamcha. Give us the 5 super guaranteed crit turn, man. That's what we need. Okay, 31. Like I said, Yamcha seems really good. I'm curious to see what he looks like next turn because we will lose that intro buff. 33. Woo! Yeah, for short-term fights, battle hard and formidable foes, Yamcha, he's gonna be one of the best characters y'all can bring in those fights. Straight up. Like if there are certain, like the Cell Max fight against Cell Max in the Gammas, if you're struggling to defeat that, which it's possible, right? If you don't have 10th anniversary characters, let's just say if you're struggling to take down those fights, Yamcha is an option. Guaranteed. I can guarantee you that. Where he's not an option, Festival, right? He's going to lose a lot of stats from his intro, and he's just not going to put out damage. Now, if they would have made him a stacker, which would have been crazy, right? But if they would have made him a stacker, then Festival's an option for Yamcha, but he's not. So you can already exclude him out of that event, right? Because he's just not going to do damage to carry you through that event. Now, Red Zone, right? Like I said, if the boss doesn't cancel dodge, I think Yamcha's an option, but I'm curious because Red Zone fights are pretty long. They could take up to like 9, 10, 11, 12 turns, right? So I'm curious to see what Yamcha looks like on his next turn without his intro. So I'm very, very curious. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna cut here, and then we'll show back up on Yamcha's next turn. So I'll see y'all then. All right, so here we are on Yamcha's turn, right? So now we are on the turn where Yamcha does not have his intro buff at all, but we do have General Blue support because he was on the last turn. You know, General Blue does give all allies 2-turn support, 30% to attack and defense when there's a mission execution or Dragon Ball Saga ally attacking in the same turn, which we did have that up. So here's what we can do for Yamcha, right? We want to make sure we give Yamcha the most amount of orbs he can get, right? So, because he shouldn't have his intro up. We can give him 4, so that's good. Now, another reason I like to do this fight sometimes for showcases is because Zamasu and Rose, right? They heal. And if you're not doing more damage than they healing, you could be in this event for a long time. So that's why I did that. And also, once they fall below a certain amount, I want to say 50 to 40% HP, they get an attack buff. And once they do that, their super attack does change. I think it's the Cosmic Slicer it changes to. And they become super, like, hard hitters. So, this is going to be a very difficult fight. Very difficult fight with those two mechanics that Rose and Zamasu do. We want to make sure we give more than 7 orbs. We can do that right there. And then Tao, you know what? Can we give Tao 4 rainbow orbs? Yeah, let Tao have some fun. Let Tao have some fun this turn. So Yamcha, how are we feeling? We got you 4 rainbow orbs. I'm already flexing. Yamcha ain't let me down yet at all this video. Look, told y'all. So we lose quite a bit of damage. 18. We still doing guaranteed crits though, but you can see the drop off. You can see the drop off once you lose his intro buff. Yeah, he is giving us supers though. He is giving us supers. I love it. I love it. One more would be perfect. Yes. Now, if he gets this hidden potential system super, then he has a 100% chance to dodge. He's the GOAT. So yeah, if dodge is not canceled, you can get turns like this, right? Where Yamcha he's untouchable. Like, it doesn't matter what Rose and Zamasu do. They can't touch Yamcha. They just couldn't touch him this turn, right? He had 90% chance to dodge before attacking. He had 100% chance to dodge after attacking. He's untouchable. Untouchable. That's why I love they made him a rainbow orb changer, because it works well for himself. He also works well for Tao, Path to Power Kid Goku, because Path to Power Kid Goku, if you want to run him in slot 1 or 2, he needs 7 orbs to get his full support passive, his full passive, right? If you run him in slot 3, then he only needs 5. I love that they made that change for Path to Power Kid Goku, but like, having more rainbow orb changers only increase the amount of orbs for characters like that, right? So how are we gonna play this turn out? Let's go. We had T in slot 1. Here's what we're gonna do. Obviously, we're gonna cut here, and then we'll show back up on Yamcha's next turn. So, I'll see y'all then. All right, so here we are on Yamcha's turn, and as you guys can see, above Rose and Zamasu's health bar, that little attack symbol, meaning they're in that nasty phase, right? So their damage got a huge increase. Their super attack does change. So very important that we can get Yamcha 4 orbs. That's only 3. That would be 4, but that's taking away a lot of orbs from Goku. Because we want to make sure Path to Power Goku still gets his 7 orbs, right? So let's do that. We can give him 8. That'll work. That'll work. And then we'll have General Blue support. Like I said, we'll have his 30% to attack and defense. I do just want to show this off here. Right here, when there's another mission execution or Dragon Ball Saga category ally, that 30% for all allies for 2 turns. So we will have that up along with Path to Power Kid Goku support as well. So we have a nice turn for Yamcha. So let's see what he's looking like. Good dodge. They're going to heal. Good dodge. Good dodge. So no super. Okay. Wow. So where are they going to super, right? They can super. Oh. If we do die, I feel like we got enough of Yamcha. We saw him when with his intro, right? Damage was crazy. Explosion. And then we see him without it. As you can see, he kind of tapers off. And he's just sitting at, you know, just with his intro, I think he is very solid. The damage you're going to see is very competitive damage. Guaranteed crits. I love it. Without it, you can see, like I said, you can see him kind of taper off without it. But I mean, he's still solid. 22. Yeah, he's still really good. Still really good. So yeah, if we do die here, right? I think I got enough. We got enough of Yamcha to like be like to make a judgment on him, and the judgment is he's good. He's really good. He's really good. Really good. If you could dodge. If you could dodge. So let's see. Where do they want a super attack? Ha ha! That don't work, bozos. Get flexed on. Now we need General Blue to dodge, because once they get their post super attack buff as well, General Blue could take some damage. So we need him to dodge. We need him to dodge. Okay. Whew. Alright. 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 So now we're in a pickle. I'm gonna keep us here just in case if we do die. Just in case if we do die, I'm gonna keep us here. How do we want to play this, right? I kind of want to put TN. I want to see how TN handles them. I think I might do that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put TN in slot 1. Because I'm very curious to see what our boy TN's going to do for us here. So let's do that. If they super right away, TN is dead. If they super right away, so it's going to be very important that they attack him first. But if they just super right away, TN's smoked. He's smoked Gouda, right? He's Swiss cheese. Oh yeah, he switched. Unless he dodges. Oh yeah, we're done. What do you take, like 3 million from this? Yeah, we're dead. It sucks that they supered right away. It sucks, right? I could have put Tao. Tao could have lived that. Let me get over to Yamcha's recap. All right, so here we are at the Yamcha character recap, whatever you want to call this part of the video, where we just, you know, discuss some more about Yamcha. We saw a lot, right? He's very good for the first like 5 turns with his intro. He explodes, right? Can't be touched. His damage is there, guaranteed crits. It's awesome, right? After that, like I said, he does taper off. So immediately, like I said earlier in the video, battle hard and formidable foes, Yamcha's gonna be one of the best characters for those events because he has the stun as well. Those are short fights, so you can have, you know, majority of his intro up while the fight's still going on. things like that. Red zone, I think he will work in red zone. I really do, as long as you can dodge. Because, I mean, he's going to be untouchable. The damage is going to taper off, but he has guaranteed crits, things like that. So, I do think he'll work in red zone. Festival, already out the question. He doesn't stack, right? A character like Yamcha will need to stack because the damage is just not going to be there. He has to dodge, which is solid. He needs to stack, right? He needs to stack. If they would have did one thing, right? 2 changes, right? For Yamcha. The first one, if they would have made this 10 turns, dog, if they would have bumped this up from 5 to 10, now we're talking. And then if they would have made him a stacker. Now, I know he's greatly raising. They didn't have to do that. They could have just kept him as just like a regular stack, attack, and defense character. Then Yamcha would have been like, I think, one of the best TURs in the game. I think in the fights that do allow dodge, he's still a solid TUR. But then, like I said, fights that don't, that cancel dodge, I think he's a fish. He's going to take some damage. So, there y'all have it. Let me know what y'all think of Yamcha in the comment section. Just want to say thank y'all for watching the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye!